Good afternoon, everyone. Under the Module 2, 21st Century Skill Categories, we will now start our discussion with the topic Learning and Innovation Skills. That future has a lot of things to bring, and as a 21st century learner, we must be able to adapt with it. As the world is continuously changing, so we are. We must and we are expected to have the skills and capabilities as a 21st century learner to sync with the competencies that the world demands. The following are the skills or 4 C's under the learning and innovation skills. These are critical thinking and problem solving, collaboration, communication, and creativity. So why are these important? First, it develops executive function skills such as planning, strategizing, organizing. It enhances the students' cognitive flexibility, which will encourage them to learn new ideas as well as social emotional capabilities. So therefore, 4 C's indeed contributes to the holistic development of a student, since learning and innovation skills is not only focused on cognitive domain but also in affective domain by developing social emotional capability and psychomotor as well by being creative and collaborative. That is why 4C is also said to be important in marketing, because in marketing it requires to have a good communication. It must know how to deal with other people. One must be a problem solver or critical thinker and also creative and innovative. So in marketing, it is also an important skill that one must have to become better in that or good in that field. So now, we will go further to understand the skills under learning and innovation skills. First is critical thinking and problem solving. It is defined as effectively analyzing and evaluating evidence, arguments, claims, and beliefs, and solving different kinds of non-familiar problems in both conventional and innovative ways. It is not a simple yes or no or true or false or multiple choice type of test. To enhance this skill, one should be exposed on constructing new ideas, situational questions that will maximize their capabilities in critical thinking. Decisions and conclusions must not be biased. It must undergo analysis and evaluation of ideas to come up with the overall outcome on complex situations. Problems to be solved are significant, which leads to better solutions to non-familiar problems. For example, a teacher can give a problem which the students will construct or will create a new solution to solve that problem. For example, in a science equation or math equation, like that. Next one is communication, articulating thoughts and ideas effectively using oral and written communication skills in a variety of forms and contexts. One should be able to communicate his or her ideas clearly in any mode of communication. It may be digital, written, or oral. It doesn't only require good grammar, good vocabulary, or good pronunciation, but it also requires a good ear to address criticisms or suggestions with right manner. One should also be clear with its purpose. Are you communicating to inform or are you communicating to persuade? Which varies on the tone or the words you will use in communicating. And lastly, 21st century learners are said to be globally competent. So to be an effective communicator in the 21st century, one must be able to communicate effectively in a diverse or in a global community, which will require one to be a multilingual. Next is collaboration. It entails demonstrating ability to work effectively and respectfully with diverse teams. So in this skill, we need to know how to deal with other people, because we tend to interact with different type of people, like when we are in our classroom or when we are in our organization outside or inside the school, like when we encounter our superiors or our instructors. So when we are included in a team with diverse or with different kind type of people, we need to know how to interact with them with the proper attitude, with the proper manner, and in a respectful way. In this skill, also, we need to have open communication. We also need to learn how to communicate effectively, because we cannot really collaborate successfully, or we really can't collaborate effectively if we cannot tell our intentions or our ideas in a clear way. So for us to have a good relationship with our teams, we need to have open communication with them. And with that, if we are open, if all of the members are open with each other, they can always identify obstacles or the things to improve within their team or their ideas. And also, they can identify the things that they need to maintain, they need to keep, so they can achieve their goal as a team. Next is creativity and innovation. It denotes use of wide range of ideas and creation techniques to create new and worthwhile ideas. So in this skill, we need to think outside the box. We don't have to stay on our comfort zone, on where we feel safe, because for us to be more creative, for us to more think something new, we need to have a new environment or a new experience. And also, we need to learn how to analyze or evaluate and criticize our own ideas for us to maximize our capabilities on how far we can get with, or how far our ideas are. And of course, sooner or later, we will become professionals. So we need to learn how to work collaboratively with others, or how to work creatively with others. We need to be open so we can share, of course, our ideas, our creations, our plans. And with that, as we share, we should expect criticisms, because in a team, if you were working in a team, you must learn how to accept criticisms with your sharing or with your ideas, because your team's goal is to achieve, or to have the best solution or the best idea among others. So you must know how to address them properly and with respect as well, because in sharing there will be always feedbacks. And next is implement innovations. So this part is your time to make your ideas in a tangible and useful contributions to the field in which the innovation occur. You're making your ideas into reality. So you will start to implement, and with this you need to have the skill on how to find the easiest way to implement your innovation or creation. So as we understand, as we discuss the four sub skills of learning and innovation skills, we notice that those four are interrelated. We cannot say that it's okay that I am not a good communicator because I'm already collaborative. Or we cannot say that as it's okay that I'm not creative or innovative because I'm already a critical thinker or problem solver. No, you cannot say that you're a critical thinker if you're not creative or innovative, and you cannot really collaborate well with others if you are not good in communicating or in sharing your ideas. With this, it is essential for us to have those skills in the present day, or to have those skills today, because as I've said earlier, the world has its demand. The world is continuously changing. So if we didn't enhance our communication skills, collaboration skills, and critical thinking skills, and creative and innovative skills, then we cannot go along with the changes, with the demands of the world. And as a future teacher, we really need to have those skills, because we didn't know if our students in the future are still like this. They may be more advanced in technology. Maybe there's something, or there's new mode of teaching someday in 5 to 10 years from now. So we didn't know. So it is important for us to be flexible and be able to adapt to several changes happening in the world. Those four C's, which is the critical thinking and problem solving skills, creativity and innovation, collaboration and communication, are said to be the primary skills. Primary because we really need to have them within ourselves. We really need to have those skills for us to be more ready and equipped with complex life and work or professional environment in the near future. So that's all for learning and innovation skills. Thank you, and I hope you learned something from me.
Good day once again. Now that we're done with the learning skills that include the critical thinking, collaborative, creative, and communication skills that are essential for any career, especially in the midst of the 21st century, let's now move on to another set of abilities, this time under the category of literary skills. Technically, when we talk about literacy, it focuses more on the reading and writing skills of the students. The shift of the scope, however, is brought by the advent of technology to the 21st century learning skills. That is the reason why this category is often called the IMT skills, since it includes the information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy that are concerned with the digital comprehension. Information literacy. This ability has something to do with understanding facts, interpreting figures, statistics, and data, especially those we'll encounter online. But more than that, it is also about understanding what's true and what's lie. What do we mean by that? It means that, given the idea that we are now in this post-truth era, in which case, we are more and more become habituated to disregard or at least devalue the truth, especially with this social media, ease access to informations online. What we actually see on the screen is what we easily believe indeed. And to that, misinformation, misconception, fake news is definitely inevitable. On the other hand, when we talk about information literacy, it is not just about understanding the content of the information, but also analyzing and identifying the information itself, whether it is credible, trustworthy, or not. When we talk about information literacy, then, it is about identifying fake information and understanding real news. But what makes a source credible and reliable? How can you say that an information is a factual information or a mere fiction? So here are the list of the ways on how you can evaluate an online source. First, that is the author. Second, by checking the background, experiences, and credentials of the author. Third, the date the information was published or posted to check whether the information is really timely and updated. Fourth, the domain that includes .com, that stands for commercial, .gov for governmental sites, .mil for military. Next is .edu for educational institutions, .org for non-profit organizations, and .net for network. So those are the reliable domains where you can search or look for the information that you need. And one, I will try to show you on how to actually validate an online source. So we will move to, and we will use Google to do that, of course. Then let's first think of a topic. How about this one? I know that some of you are familiar with this. Seems nostalgic, right? Since we've already discussed this in our science and technology subject. So, this one. What we're going to do is to first check whether this information has an author, and eventually check its background. Let's say, okay, aquaculture, yun. In this article entitled "My Father and the Fish Farmer," both author and the date is given, and this tells us that this information is timely and updated. So let's first check. Okay, check. Instead of going on, let's type it instead. That's Rafael Guerrero, the author of that article. The good thing about doing this is that this gives us an idea, an assurance to really check whether the information that is written on a given site is trustworthy by simply checking the background, credentials, and experience of the author. Based from its background, as you can see, Dr. Rafael D. Guerrero is really a reliable source. Based from his credentials, this will also tell us that this professional has really lots of experience when it comes to his field. And that will simply tell us that that article is really reliable. Second is by considering the date. We have already checked the date and that article is updated. Another thing when it comes to checking of the date is the idea, especially for us science major, that the information given for a book can change over time. So given the idea that information when it comes to the field of science are constantly changing over time because of continuous discoveries, explorations, and research, it is very important to consider the date of a given information online. When it comes to domain, I know that you are already informed on why vlogs and wikis are not supported as a good source of information, since vlog has something to do with opinions and wikis are informations that can be editable. Now, when it comes to grammatical errors, typographical errors, and such, it is very important for us to be critical when it comes to reading of information. The more that it can lead to confusion, the more that the information is inaccurate. That is the reason why it is very important to check the correctness of the information. Now, before we proceed to our next topic, let's first have a short commercial.
Good. ออกขวาขวากับลงห้องกะเบรกบ่เบรกรถ10 ล้ออยู่ตั้งหน้าเบรกรถกับขว้างกะเบรกแกป้อพิงดังกะเอาอีกชีวิตจริงไม่มีเวลาคิดนานขนาดนี้จนรู้กินเหล้าจนเครียดเลิกเหล้าทำงานเก็บเงินทำงานเก็บเงินใช้หนี้ทำงานเก็บเงินได้เรียนมีกินช่วยเหลือผ่องใสเนียรักอบอุ่นไม่ป่วยรวยปัญญาพัฒนาฉลาดชาติเจริญจะถึงไหนนะก็ไม่รู้แค่เลิกเหล้า
So what can you say about the video that you watched? Actually, those clips are PSAs, or the public service announcement. Although the theme and concept is a bit funny, it still contains a message, and that is an example of media. Now, what do we mean when someone is media literate? Next is the media literacy. It is the ability to decode messages from different medium of instruction, such as the information based from what students have read from books and modules, or lessons from watching movies and presentations, for instance. By doing so, this ability enables students to assess as well the influence of messages and thoughts, feelings, and students' behavior. This is now the time where realization and reflection of students based from the decoded messages comes in. Now, what is the difference between information and media literacy? since if you can observe, the first two abilities has something in common when it comes to the ability that an information literate possess. Actually, both information and media literacy are concerned with the digital comprehension, which includes understanding and identifying content and credibility of information. The only difference is that media includes application. This is the time where students decoded messages that were put into realization will be turned into application in creating their own media. This can be in the form of research projects, video presentations, advertisements, campaigns, interviews, and so on. Part of the skills that media literacy requires is the ability to create one. Actually, there is no single formula in creating your own media. We're now in this 21st century, and I know that all of you are already aware of applications, softwares that you can use to edit your own photos, videos, and such. And this is where technology literacy skills matter. It is actually the ability not just to manipulate technology or learn on how to use it, but it is the ability to use appropriate technology safely, responsibly, creatively, and effectively, not just in terms of communication, presentations, create activities, and research, but also in real-life application. Given all of those reasons about these skills, these three indeed are very vital in this 21st century. So we're done already talking about 7 skills. There are actually 12 of them, and the last presenter will discuss to you the remaining skills, and that is under the flexibility skills. And with that, the discussion under technology literacy is done.
Everyone, our topic for today is about 21st century skills. And one of the categories of 21st century skills is life skills. Life skills is also known as FLIPS because of the word flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. Now, we will learn how to apply those words in our life. The first one is flexibility. Flexibility. It is the expression of someone's ability to adapt to changing circumstances and to their learning as they go along. It requires them to show humility and accept that they always have a lot to learn and experience. How can we apply this flexibility? As a student, we can apply this flexibility by adopting some changes in educational system, especially that we are experiencing a pandemic. We need to adapt changes in educational system by conducting a online learning rather than face-to-face learning. We need to be ready or to be flexible on it. The next one is leadership. Is someone's penchant for setting goals, walking a team through the steps required, and achieving those goals collaboratively. This plays an important role in success and efficiency of subordinates. A good leader is a good follower. For example, as a youth in our barangay, we can be a good leader by following some rules in our barangay, like proper waste disposal or how to manage or how to clean our coastal areas. And by that, someone or some youth can follow that, and it can lead to success. By following some rules, someone can also follow that. It can be a lead to success. The next one is initiative.
starting projects, strategies, and plans on one's self, or a self-starters. The ability to assess and initiate things independently. Initiative, from the word initiate. When we initiate something or to someone, we can learn from that. In that learning or experiences can help us in our near future. Now, as a student, we need to practice this initiative. The next one is productivity. Students' ability to complete work in an appropriate amount of time is a measure of efficiency of a person in completing a task. Productivity skills is important in our daily living. We need to be a productive individual as we go along. In life, we encounter many problems like family problems, school problems, financial problems, or business problems that may lead us to become stressed and not focus on our goals. By not focusing on our goals, we are not able to be a productive because we are not able to complete work in an appropriate amount of time or in due date. As a student, I try to become a productive one by making some list or prioritizing the important to unimportant things. By making this, it led me to have a peace of mind or have less of distractions in making school activities. The next one is social skills. It is the skills we use to communicate and interact with each other, both verbally and non-verbally, through gestures, body language, and our personal appearance. Social skills is essential for us in life skills since we are encounter different person, different attitude, manner, or behavior. By this, we can practice on how to build a good relationship with others. And personally, we can grow or help us in a professional growth and personal growth. Thank you and God bless. To conclude, we need to learn these 21st century skills, especially life skills that will help us in our future career and our daily lives. Thank you. God bless.